Good day, everyone. We have started engineering materials in the earlier classes. We started with the properties of food. This morning, or this day, we shall be dealing with properties of metal, ceramics, glass, and their properties. So at the end of this teaching or interaction, you should be able to state the properties of metals, ceramics, and glass. Do you have an idea of the two types of metal? So as a starter, you can write that down. Two major types of metal. So the two major types of metals are ferrous metals and non-ferrous metals. Ferrous metals and non-ferrous metals. Of course, we should know the difference between them. We are going to be maybe dealing with that in some other classes. Ferrous metals contain iron, while non-ferrous metals do not contain iron. Because ferrous metals contain iron, they are magnetic and they can also rust. Non-ferrous metals do not contain iron, so they are not magnetic and they cannot rust, but their color can change, and as a term we call that. So we are going to deal with it later. Can you explain production of metals from ores? The productions of metals from ores. Metals are natural materials found in rocks. Rocks which contain metals are called ores. An ore is made up of a metal and some non-metal compounds called gangue. Different metals are found in different ores. So I said earlier that ferrous metals can rust, then non-ferrous metal can corrode. So in corrosion, the brown color, that reddish brown, is not like that of ferrous metal. When ferrous metal rusts, it's going to give you a reddish brown color. But in corrosion, when it comes to non-ferrous, it will just change, the color will just change a little bit. It's not going to be all that brown. Alright, let's move ahead. Can you state 4 general properties of metal? 4 general properties of metal. You can pen that down and then compare it with mine. General properties of metals. The first one is malleability. Malleability. This is the ability of the metal to be hammered into shape without breaking. And of course, examples of metals that are malleable. All metals are malleable, but we have aluminum, copper, tin, iron, steel, etc. These are obvious in them. The ability of metal to be hammered into another shape, sometimes into flat sheets without breaking. Density. Most metals are heavier than other materials. Notwithstanding, we have light metals like magnesium. Then we have conductivity. Metals are conductors of electricity. They are good conductors of electricity and heat. So silver is the best conductor, followed by copper and aluminium. Then we have luster. The same way wood has a luster as a property or characteristics, metals also have characteristics which is called luster. So when metals are polished, their surfaces shine very well, e.g. copper, tin, gold, aluminium. When you polish them, they begin to shine. Then ductility is the ability of the metal to be drawn into fine wires. Examples are copper and iron steel. Those are ductile. Copper and steel are ductile. Ability of metal to be drawn into fine wires. Then toughness. This is the ability of the metal to resist shocks and hard blows. So carbon steel and high-speed steel, they are tough metals. Then brittleness. This is the opposite of toughness. Ability of the metal to break easily when given a hard blow. Cast iron and zinc, those two, they are very brittle. Though cast iron is very strong, but it's still brittle. Hardness. This is the ability of the metal to resist cutting, bending, and scratching like other metals. E.g., high-speed steel is very hard. Elasticity is the ability of the metal to return to its original shape after deformation. So we have stainless steel as an example. Then fusibility. This is the ability of the metal to become liquid when heated to a sufficiently high temperature. All metals are fusible. Can you differentiate between ferrous and non-ferrous metals and give the examples? We have done that earlier. This is just like an extra, because of course we are actually dealing with the properties of metals, which we've already dealt with. But notwithstanding, if you have an idea, you can pen it down before my explanation. Differentiate between ferrous and non-ferrous metals and give their examples. Okay? Ferrous metals can be identified with magnets because they are attracted to magnets. Non-ferrous metals are not usually attracted by magnets. Ferrous metals will rust when exposed to air and water, whereas non-ferrous metals will not rust. Examples of ferrous metals are iron, cast iron, pig iron, wrought iron, steel, mild steel, and tool steel. While examples of non-ferrous metals are aluminum, copper, lead, tin, zinc, brass, gold, silver, bronze, magnesium, and nickel. Now assessment. And try these 3 questions and check whether you get it right. Dash are natural materials found in rocks. Rocks which contain metals are called dash, and ore is made up of metal and some non-metal compounds called dash. State 4 general properties of metal. Number 3, mention the 2 major types of metal and give 2 differences between them. You can pause the video, answer them, and go back to check whether you get them correctly. Thank you. Now let's go to properties of ceramics and glass. What are the disadvantages of using wood and metals? As a starter, what are the disadvantages of using wood and metals? Alright, have you written that down? Let's go to my answer. Wood does not last very long because of certain properties. Some metals also rust easily when in contact with water or chemicals. That means we have to think of some other materials when we don't want these properties that wood and metals project here. So for properties of ceramics and glass, at the end of this teaching, you should be able to identify properties of ceramics and glass, and you should be able to state the uses of ceramics and glass. Can you define ceramics? That's 1. Can you define it? Define ceramics. Alright? Ceramics is a material made of clay and cement that has been made permanently hard by heat. They are generally classified as non-metallic and inorganic. These are 2 types of ceramics. Ceramics is a material made of clay and cement that has been made permanently hard by heat. We have 2 types of ceramics, non-metallic and inorganic. Can you identify properties of ceramics? Okay. Properties of ceramics, we have brittleness. They are brittle. The degree of brittleness is very high in ceramics. They break easily when allowed to drop. Then hardness. ceramics are very hard. Color, they are made in different colors. Density, ceramics are heavy. Ductility, the ductility of ceramics is lower compared to that of metals. Ceramics are ductile, but is lower compared to that of metals. Heat resistance, ceramics take a long time to absorb heat and longer time to lose it. Thermal insulation, this describes the ability of ceramics to withstand heat. Corrosion resistance, ceramics do not rust, that is, they are resistant to corrosion. Can you list ceramic products around you, in your house, in your office, your school? Can you list them? Okay. So products of ceramics include bricks, enamels, teacups, plates, tiles, furnace, bakery ovens, flower vases, sculpture, electric plugs, sink units, wash basins, toilets, etc. Identify properties of glass and list examples of glass products. So we are done with properties of ceramics, and let's quickly move to properties of glass because of time. Identify properties of glass and list examples of glass products. Glass is a ceramic type. It is a hard transparent material made from sand, potash, soda, lime, and lead oxide. So we can simply say the raw materials for making glass is sand. So glass is made up of sand, but that sand is not like the natural sand. It is in form of silica. So properties of glass, we have brittleness, we all know that. Glasses are very brittle. They break when they drop. Transparency, they are transparent. And we have corrosion resistance. Glasses are not prone to corrosion. They are not easily corroded. So when you need a material to produce a particular object or product that you don't want it to corrode, you will see that you cannot use non-ferrous metal. So it's better you do what? You use glass. You choose glass as the material to be used. Examples of glass products are cups, bottles, mirrors, glass tubes, electric bulbs, glass windows, glass doors, eyeglasses, and lenses. And we also have many of them. So assessment. Can you define ceramics? Can you state 5 properties of ceramics? State three types of ceramics. List 5 ceramic products and 5 glass products. This is the end of today's class. We have dealt with properties of metal, ceramics, and glass. So answer these questions and go back to the beginning of the video to check whether you are correct. Thank you and God bless. Like the video and subscribe. You can also share it. And you have any question on technology, you can put it in the comments box. And if it's on maths, you can also do the same, because the channel is on STEM subjects and majorly maths and basic technology. Thank you.